My name's Ruth Duran. I'm a certified life coach. I help businesswomen make more money without working any harder or longer. I am also an MBA and one of the MBA concentration in accounting. And one of the things that I did is I went into businesses and we did audits to see what was really costing the business people money in the bank. Because the bottom line is, when we look at our businesses, we went into business, most of us, for the money. And the money is a great indication of the results that we're creating. We could be doing all the things, but if we're not creating the results that we want, that means there is something that we need to tweak and adjust. There's something that we need to change. There's something that we need to do very differently. And let me move this more to the middle. And so, okay. So today I want to share with you a concept that I borrowed from Esther Hicks, which is Esther and Abraham Hicks. I borrowed this concept because she uses a concept of where you could have a train and you could have a train going in one direction. You could have engines taking the train in one direction, and then you could also have engines that are taking the train in the other direction. And so we could have this success train, money train, business train, you want to name it. I'm going to call it the success train. I'm actually going to call it also the money train. We have this train. We've put this train in over here. And then we have put down a bunch of engines that we want to go in this direction. And unbeknownst to us, we have plopped down other engines that are pulling us in the reverse direction. So in this analogy, let's pretend this is a train. I have 300 miles per hour in this direction, but I also have 300 miles per hour in this direction. So we physics, we know physics, we've learned physics. Even a child putting trains and playing trains on the train tracks or little toy train can know that's what's happening very, very clearly. And so we're trying to go this way for money and results, but we're being pulled this way, reverse, with mind drama and things that we put in that are not helping us create what we want. And so if you've been with me before, I've taught you about the thoughts and feelings, but I've also taught you about some actions. And so I also taught you about the scientific method. So scientific method is really what we're going to be doing to evaluating what we need to tweak and adjust. Where is it that we need to work on? And so, for example, I'm going to just say, just hypothetically, I have a problem here. And I find it and I eliminate it. So now this direction is going at 250 miles per hour. This direction is still going at 300 miles an hour. Anybody, like I said, the little boy playing with his trains on the little train track will figure out that's going to move the train forward. So the more of these that we eliminate, the more this train is going to get moving. And so my clients will come and we will eliminate something here. And so it will move their train forward. And then they realize they're getting more success that they want without using any more energy, because this train stalling, pulling in different directions is exhausting. This is where my clients burn out and are exhausted and are not showing up in their business, and they're stopping working in their business because this struggle is so exhausting. And so even if we don't eliminate all of these, even if we reduce these from 50 miles an hour to even 40 miles an hour across the board, math, this is going to move forward. And so my clients will come and they'll work with me for days, and then they moving their train forward because of the awareness that's created by this formula. So this is an analogy I borrowed from Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, and it's where she uses the analogy to create momentum to create what you want. And this can be done in conditions, in patterns, in habits, just really finding out what it is that's stalling you, just really finding what is causing you to be stalled out. And so I believe that you have unlimited potential, but sometimes our results are not there because of how we are just showing up in the world. And once we see it, we can show up in our fullest potential and create what we want in our business. And so I'm going to share with you we all have a desire to create our business and create results in our business. It's a strong desire. That's our money train. That's our success train. We all have a desire. And so what we want to do is we want to identify, why isn't our desire, our money train moving forward? So these are just some of the examples. I can go in depth and I could spend days on all the different examples, but these are just some of the examples that I see that in my own life, in my clients' lives, that I just want to share with you guys. So I'm going to use examples I picked each of this on purpose because these are the examples that we're going to have, and also pick all of this on purpose because those are examples. So I'm going to say, like, for example, the first example is we might be thinking exercise is hard. I can't do it. I don't have time. So we're not exercising. We're feeling overwhelmed. We're not taking care of our body. And then we're not sleeping well. We're not eating well. We're exhausted. And we wonder, why are we exhausted? But it's because we're not taking care of our body. And so what we might do is we might decide, you know what, I'm just going to tweak and adjust my exercise. And then we get more energy, more fuel. Exercise, we start moving in this direction. We might think, okay, I'm going to work on my time. Right now, our relationship with time is, you know what, I don't have enough time. People who are like me don't have time, or people who have a lot of time are so lucky. Like we have me story, me mother, me full-time employee, me, and we're going, but they have time because they're different than me. Plop, we've put an engine, caboose, pulling ourselves that direction. Another thing we might think is my marketing. I don't know how to market. I don't know what to do. People don't want what I have. I don't have the skills. I'm not good at this marketing thing. I don't have the talent. Other people are talented at marketing, but I'm not. Plop, we've put that over there. And then we might think about money. Somebody might be saying, I don't deserve money. Money, I've never had money. There's never been enough money. I don't have the skills to take care of my money. I'm not good with money. We've put another caboose down here, or another engine down. And then, or we might think about sales. We may be like, oh, I'm so scared of rejection. I don't want to hear no. I don't want to hear people say no to me. Or heaven forbid, we go out, we make offers. Somebody says no, and we then are rejected. And then we make it mean I don't have the skills. I'm not good enough. People don't want to work with me. Plop, we've put another engine down. Or we might be thinking about managing failure. And the skill that it's like we don't have the skill of how to manage failure. And so what happens is we start saying people don't like what I have. People like me can't do it. I'm not good enough. I don't know how to do it. I failed. That means I need to stop. Plop, we've put another engine down. And so these are just 6 examples. Just can you imagine how big that becomes with all the mind drama and all the chatter and all the clutter in our brain? And then we're feeling discouraged, disappointed, rejected, insecure, not enough, insufficient, defeated, feel like a failure. We feel disempowered. And so we are focusing over here, and we're looking to the results. We're looking to our money train. We're looking to our success train. Our success train is not going anywhere. We're taking all the actions, but our success train is not going anywhere. And so what do? We're like physically exhausted. This is when I see my clients experiencing burnout. And so they self-sabotage without even knowing that they're self-sabotaging. They're procrastinating without even knowing why they're procrastinating. They're avoiding their business. They're avoiding their health. They're avoiding things. They're hiding. They're not showing up powerfully. They're escaping fails. They're stopping and they're starting. They're using escapes fails like buffering and avoiding and just all kinds of escape fails, and then they're not showing up in their business, or they're not taking action, or if they're taking action, they're taking the exact same actions, but they're not realizing this is what's draining them down. So they might say more things to do, work longer, work harder, do more actions, but then it's like they're not even aware that this is pulling them back. Or they might be, I need to learn more, I need to learn read another book, take another training, learn just how to do something else, which is more on this side, but it's without this, we cannot move forward. And so what we want to do is we want to reduce the resistance. We want to eliminate as many of these as we can, or even reduce as many of these as we can. So what that does is it reduces the resistance, so this train can move forward. So this train can use all the energy that we've put in to move forward and go into the direction that we want. And so, for example, we might think with our health, we might say, okay, I want to sleep better, I want more energy. And so we might decide, you know what, I'm figuring this health thing out for my future self. I'm figuring how to take care of myself, not only for me today, but also for my future self, for my business, for the people that need me to be healthy and show up at my highest form. Or we might think like, I am hooking me up. I'm taking really good care of me. I'm hooking me up. I'm going to take care of me to create what I want. I'm going to do what I need to do to move forward. And so, like, for example, one of the things I realized, I was struggling with even exercising and taking care of myself and eating right. And then I realized, you know what? I want to take care of myself for my future self. I want more energy because I want to show up at my highest possible place. And so what I'm doing is I decided to even think this thought, I'm figuring this out for my future self. I'm figuring this out day by day for my future self. And so exercise has become easier for me because it's just what I'm doing for my future self. Time we might think is, you know what? I have enough time to get what I need to get done. I have just the right amount of time to get what I need to get done. Priorities. I always, when I have a priority and it has to be done, I do it. So I have enough time for the things I want to do. Or I might think, you know what? I'm going to honor my time. I'm going to honor and respect the time that I have. If I have 40 hours to work on my business, or if I have 20, it doesn't matter. I'm going to honor that time. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do my work. I'm going to plan things. I'm going to honor that time. We might also be thinking like, I'm going to respect my time. I'm going to respect me. I'm going to respect my business. I'm going to respect my time. We feel so much more. So we're putting things up here. Or like in our marketing, we might be thinking, I'm building the skills of marketing. Marketing is a skill. Marketing is something that I can learn and I can build my skill on. I'm practicing how to show up in my marketing skills. Or we might be thinking, I'm creating a system in my marketing. You know, when I show up and I speak more to my people and I start really thinking about my people, I'm creating a system for my marketing. Or we might be thinking, let's see, my people need me. So I want to show up every day in my business because my people need me. My people need me to show up for them. My people are suffering right now and they're waiting for me. They need me. So I want to show up where I can help them and serve them and show up powerfully for them. So if you're on Facebook, thank you so much for joining me. Join me on Zoom. The link is, let me post the link. I just posted the link. Join me on Zoom so you can get coached live, because it's one thing to know what to do. It's a very different thing to actually implement it into your life. So then we go into money. So we might think, I have just the right amount of money that I need for me today. I have enough money for what I need today. And then we might think, I'm becoming a good steward of money. I'm becoming a good caretaker of money. Or we might even think like, money is a great servant. Like when I give my money an assignment, my money always goes and works for me. And so money is a great servant and money is working with me and for me. And so, you know, and so just even think about how that feels. So that's even, maybe even adding the energy onto this, which is our result creating. And then we might think about skills. And we might think that A no is just their first response. A no is just everybody's just their gut reaction. And even a no can just be there. They're not rejecting me. They're just telling me I haven't shown them the value of working with me. I haven't shown them that, given them the information that they need to hear to work with me. I haven't shown them that working with me is what's going to change their life forever. And so when we hear a no, we can look at it in a very different way, add in more of that fuel on this end. And so also we can look at managing failure, which is a big one. And so we look at, okay, managing failure is just a skill. It's a skill that I'm learning. It's a skill that I'm implementing. It's a skill that I'm working on, and I can improve my skill of managing failure. We can think failure just means I learned what does not work. Failure just means I learned one other way that it does not work. Or we can think, let me see. I only fail if I quit or if I stop. I haven't quit. I haven't stopped. Stop doesn't mean I am not a failure, because I am not quitting. I'm going to go and continue taking massive action until I get the result that I want. We can look at failure and say failure is just giving us feedback. Failure is just telling us what we need to tweak and adjust. Failure is just telling us I tried that thing, I put that thing out, I did this way, and it just told me that, well, that didn't just quite resonate with who I wanted to resonate with, so let me tweak it and adjust it. And so failure can just mean feedback. Failure can mean that this is where I get to practice feeling my emotions. It's like, oh, I'm feeling discouraged. Okay, practice feeling that emotion. Practice feeling what you're experiencing. Just practice sitting with that emotion and see what happens. And then what we can also do is then really practice the skill of failure, managing our failure, because all our road to success is paved with a ton of failure. In this area, we experience failure and then we make it mean I'm not good enough, I can't do it, that means I quit. Versus over here, when we just give it even more fuel and just learn it's a skill, just like marketing, just like money, just like time, all of it is just a skill, and I can learn that skill. And so when we're thinking this, we're feeling certain, we're feeling resolved, we're feeling empowered, we're feeling open, we're feeling determined, we're feeling abundance, we're feeling love, compassion, respect, courageous, and confident. So we have eliminated as much of these as we can, and we have added to this. So across the board, we might have been going 50 miles an hour, and just with up level, even a small piece of this, all of this now becomes 100 miles an hour. So this money train is going at 600 miles an hour, and this is probably reduced. So then people go like, whoa, all of a sudden, so-and-so, she just came out of nowhere. What happened? She's eliminated this and she's added to this. And that's what I help my clients do. I help them eliminate this, and I help them add on to this. And so what happens is we are just showing up powerfully. And so this is how my clients make so much more money without working any harder or longer. This is how my clients show up powerfully in their businesses and create the results that they want. And so what else happens is then now, when we're feeling these positive emotions, we're then able to create more of the results that we want. So we have worked on our thoughts and our feelings, and then we have worked on our actions. And so in our actions, what we're doing is then when we're feeling our positive emotions and the energy that we're using is then we decide, okay, I'm going to build a skill of planning. I'm going to build a skill of scheduling my day, my week, my month. I'm going to build a skill of prioritizing my day, my week, my month. I'm going to build a skill of being committed to what I say, when I'm going to say it, and when I'm going to do it, committed to me, committed to my business, committed to my clients. And so adding onto that side. And then we're making powerful decisions. We're deciding. It's like maybe over here we were indecisive. We start becoming very decisive, moves the engine, the money success train forward. We learn how, like, for example, to evaluate. It's like we experience failure. Once we stop making failure mean something negative about us, we go, okay, failure is feedback. What is failure here to teach me? And then we evaluate, okay, I did this, I'm going to stop doing that. I did this, that's worked great. I'm going to continue doing this. I did this, and you know what? It didn't quite get me what I wanted. So I'm going to maybe tweak and adjust that. So we evaluate a failure, we tweak it and adjust it. We do not beat up on ourselves. When my clients are over here and going in reverse, they're beating up, they are their worst enemy. They're beating themselves up. They're giving themselves a hard time. They're treating themselves so badly because they think that if they just fix who they are, their human worth, their human value, then they would get the success train going in that direction. But the reason that the success train is in reverse or is stalled is not because they're not valuable, amazing human beings. It's because they just haven't got the system to get the train moving in the direction that they want to go. And so they're not quitting, they're taking breaks, they're willing to fail on purpose. They're willing to try things multiple times, fail on purpose so they can get that valuable feedback. They're taking massive action. Massive action is going to work until you get the result that you want. Massive action is willing to try very many things, willing to fail, willing to evaluate until you get the result that they want. And so they start creating more of the result that they want. This is eliminated, this is increased. And so they're moving in the results direction that they want. They make more money without using any more time and energy. Remember, here 300, here 300. It's the tension that's exhausting. It's not the action that's exhausting, it's the tension. Think of pulling, what's it called? Rope, whatever it's called, tag of war. So you're doing this tag of war with yourself. And so since you're a hardworking person, your result is, let me do more things. Let me add more things. Let me work harder. Let me work longer. We think that that's going to work, but when you're pulling and dragging this boulder with you. And so once we start eliminating these boulders, you're able to drag what you want. So then you start creating the results that you want. You start creating extraordinary results where my clients have the highest months. They create like amazing years just by this being reduced because they had the skill set, they had the information in them already. It's just cleaning this up. And they make the money, they make the success, they create the wisdom that they want. And so I wanted to spend a little bit of time of failure. And so failure is just a skill that we can build to be resilient when it comes to failure. Failure doesn't mean anything about you. Failure doesn't mean that it means stop. Failure doesn't mean that you're bad. Failure doesn't mean that you're not worthy. Failure just means there's a skill that you need to build. And then failure is just, my mentor actually says failure is, in fact, I think it's Webster and my mentor both say that failure is the omission of expected or required action. That's all that failure means. That means that you, and in this example, if you're failing, it just means that you omitted to reduce this. You omitted to find out what these are. You omitted to find what is holding you back, or you omitted to add a link in something that you sent out. It's just a omission of expected required action. You know, what we want to do is we want to remind ourselves that failure just means I am a human. I'm building a business. A road to success is built with a ton of failure. And one of the things that, in fact, my mentor advises us to do, and I'm doing it in Master Coach training, is just double down your rate of failure. The more you get skilled at failure is you double down the rate of failure. I actually now do 15 fails a week to get resilient and strong in failure. And so Tony Robbins says, I was just going to add this quote because I loved it. Tony Robbins says, the only thing that is keeping you from getting what you want is the story you keep telling yourself, which fuels all your actions and inactions. And it's these stories that are pulling you back this way. So this is how I see what happens with my clients. This is how, when my clients start making more money, they're moving this direction, and we eliminate this. And this is how I guarantee I help my clients make more money without working any harder or longer, because my clients are already doing this. They're already pulled in two different directions, plopping down cabooses over here and plopping down cabooses over here. And they think to overcome this, they just need to do more of this. But they need, once they start lifting this up, they create more of the result that they want. So Facebook, if you have any questions for me, feel free to drop it on the link. Feel free to join me on Zoom next week, where I will coach you live on this or anything that you're struggling with in your business. And so, because I want you to create more of the money and the income that you want. I want you to stop struggling in your business, because you're amazing, you're phenomenal, you're talented, but this is what's stalling you down. And so I help you clean that up so you can make more of the money that you want without working any longer or harder. And I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.